Here I am trying to commit to YouTube again. I am so, I've been so bad about it. I love YouTube. I love long form content. I like to yap, but for some reason it's just really hard to stay consistent, and like editing the videos and things like that are a little bit more difficult, but I do like to have these videos to look back on. So anyways, I'm Carrie. I am a mom of two. I own my own business, Strong and Fit Coaching. So I mainly work with busy moms to help them lose weight, tone up without having to make 2 separate dinners for their families. Most of my ladies only work out 2 to 3 times per week. And yeah, so that's what I do. And I currently am in another fat loss phase. So I just hired a coach. I think one of the last videos I made was me having a coach also. But since I had my second daughter, I've really struggled to stick to a plan. I mean, I eat pretty mostly whole foods, but just haven't been as on point with my goals. I really want to get down to probably around 175, and this morning I weighed in at 185. So really 10, maybe 15 pounds. But I've struggled since having my second. I lost initial weight. She's almost 5 and I still haven't got back down. Nothing wrong with that. Back down to where I was before I had her, which I had lost a lot of weight. I got to the smallest, probably a little too small for me. Just normally, I think the lowest I weighed in before I got pregnant with my second was 163, and I'm 5'9". So that may sound not that small to some people, but I was really way smaller than I like. My butt was I didn't have as much muscle density as I would like. So anyways, that's me rambling. I also have started learning how to trade. So I think I'm going to throw fitness and trading in here, which I have been so nervous to talk about me learning to trade because it is very risky. I think when I get my head set on something, I don't want to hear people try to talk me out of it. So I'll probably update you guys on that stuff too. So I will try to post my progress photos so far. I've been working with my coach. I think this was my third check-in with her. So about 4 weeks. Ish. And I weighed in at my heaviest on our first check-in because I had just got back from vacation, but really I was sitting around 189 to 190 and I'm down to 185. But I think I weighed in at 194. So she has seen a lot more weight loss than what my brain is actually telling me, but my body is starting to change. I'm definitely, which I'm not ready really for crop tops, but I'm definitely starting to see, you can see a little bit of more definition in my arms. Not a whole lot, but if I'm in the right lighting, you can start to see some shoulder definition. Usually when I lose weight, it's from here first, and then my lower body is last, but I'm also seeing a little bit of quad definition already, so I'm super excited to see what happens next. And honestly, I've been just keeping my food the same. She didn't make any changes, and I'm only doing 40 minutes of cardio a week, training 4 times a week. Okay, so let's talk about what's been going on business-wise, trading-wise, all that. So I have been coaching since 2016. I started off by working underneath my stepdad at a boot camp. And by 2022, after I had my second, I just was like, this whole thing is not in alignment with the way I want to coach. Business wise, I actually took over from my stepdad, and so there was so many people that had been with him and was sticking, with me. But it wasn't the way I wanted to coach. People were doing high impact exercises and I wanted to mainly do strength training. I wanted to be able to help people with nutrition, help them with their mindset, all that. And most of those people just wanted to pay $100 to $149 a month. Not that they wanted to, but that's what they're willing to pay, right? And they weren't willing to, that can seem like a lot of money a month, but really to most people, there's less accountability when you're paying that much less to do your check-ins, to record your food, to do like check-ins outside of the in-person workouts. So anyways, I joined a mentorship. I went online and I started coaching online since the end of 2022. I love what I do. I don't always love the sales part or trying to convince people that they're worth investing in, or even the marketing side of things isn't always fun because you're sometimes trying to say what people need, maybe resonate, but I don't know how to put it in words, but trying to figure out the trends, what people are actually going to watch. It can be its own thing. Anyways, this back in August, I started learning how to trade. I'm really interested in trading. I really wanted to work out. I've lost a lot of money, cannot lie. But one of the things that has happened recently is I've realized that most of my losses came from my nervous system being dysregulated. And I've actually been able to pass multiple challenges. If you don't know anything about trading, you can ask in the comments, or if you do, I've passed multiple evaluations. So I have gotten past the point of like having a strategy or an edge, like that is there. I could make money if my psychology is in the right place. And it wasn't until recently that I finally was able to realize what that really meant. And so what happens is you get greedy, you overtrade, you are trying to force things to happen. It's just all dysregulation. And so I've been listening to some podcasts and actually started listening to this audiobook today. It's called Feminine Energy and Money. So good so far. It's actually right on track with everything I've been learning. Anyways, I'm so close to my first payout. All that to say, I'm really close. And what I've been doing when I go into the markets each day, because I only need 5 trading days at $100 to be able to request a payout. So instead of going for these big hits, like I did in the evaluation phase, because one of my evaluation phase, I passed in one day, so I made $1,500 in one trade. Obviously not my money, but I was able to do that. So what I've done now to try to get a payout is I'm going for smaller hits, less trades, just so I can get that payout. But I already feel my nervous system like acting up. And what happens is you're not used to things working out. You're not used to receiving. You're not So your body's trying to protect you from that payout. They see like you're so close to that payout as a threat. It sounds crazy, but I can try to link some of the podcasts down below. It actually makes a lot of sense when you dive into it. But the thing I like about trading is it, just like with fitness, it requires so much of a changing who you are. I mean, really like growth, not chasing, but becoming, evolving, looking at things that are within you that maybe aren't, I would say I'm more of a spiritual person than religious. Like I don't necessarily believe in an entity, but what I see on my like spiritual path is digging inside here and seeing those places that maybe are still unhealed or not in alignment with where you are spiritually or where you want to be spiritually. When I think of spirituality, I think of connectiveness and peace and presence. And when there's these things inside me that are off or maybe unhealed or whatever you want to call it, it's opportunities to grow is basically where I'm headed, and I love that stuff. I love it. I never will get to a place where I'm perfect or I'm completely healed, but I love the journey of trying to be better. So anyways, I'm going to make an effort to step out of my comfort zone and share more of that, but I feel like trading and fitness and all the things that I am passionate about kind of like go hand in hand. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm trusting that this is going to work out, and if it doesn't, then I'll figure it out from there. But at this point, like, I've put so much into it. I know if I can regulate my nervous system, I can calm down, I can stop trying to force it to happen, it's gonna happen. And yeah, so I don't know. Also, with my coaching, I had a client check in today because sometimes I just get burnt out of trying to chase new clients. So what I've been working on is just like really celebrating who I'm working with right now, and like, wow, like I get to have an impact. So one of my clients checked in today. She's down 23 pounds in 5 months, which may seem like a long time. We were not trying to necessarily lose that weight that whole time because she is breastfeeding. So we were working on like building muscle, making sure that she was eating enough so that way we could go into like what I call a fat loss phase. So she's down 23 pounds. She looks great. She did all that while breastfeeding, having 2 kids under 3. She was only 3 or 4 months postpartum when we started working together. And so if you're a mom, you know how chaotic that is. And on top of it, her oldest was 3. And then she also has her own business and just really busy, you know, so really, really big win. But not only that, like her body composition changed so much. And she did all that without doing anything crazy. Like she works out like 2 to 3, mostly 3 days a week, lifting. So we haven't done any added cardio. We're not like doing anything crazy there. And her food, I mean, she's still, if you know anything about calories, she's still eating around 1,800 calories. And, so yeah, big wins. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I'm going to work on putting some more stuff out. If you have questions about trading, about fitness, comment below and I'll try to make more in-depth videos. I am using strategy-wise, I use ICC, which is indication, correction, continuation, as just for basic market structure. So where are we at in the market? Kind of seeing that trend. And then I've been using supply and demand mainly on the 5 minute, but today I hit on the 1 hour demand. So yeah, it's been good to just like calm down and not chase trades. So that's all I got. Please subscribe, leave comments, like, whatever. Okay, bye.